Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Candace Smith, and this is Pasco Connect Magazine Community Talk. And as I said, I was going to be putting out these clips to discuss the speakers from the annual legislative delegation meeting that took place on November 10th at the Pasco Hernando State College. And I just found a lot of the speakers' commentary to be interesting, what they were discussing with the legislators about. And so in this particular video, we're going to be discussing the property tax person, the tax collector, Mike Fasano, who discussed property taxes. So basically, the tax collector is the one that's handling a lot of our driver's licenses, our titles for vehicles, boats, permits, things like that. And so he got up and he was really sharing a lot of information, because he basically started off by saying, look, I'm a conservative, but I want my taxes lowered. I want my property taxes lowered. However, he was basically like, let me drop some facts for you. We service 95% of the county. We see about 50 to 60,000 people a month that are coming in to register for their vehicles, get titles for their vehicles, and of the $80-90 you might spend for whatever service, we get about $3. For whatever amount you might spend for whatever, we get $6.25. And he went on to break it down even further by saying, we lose about 40 million per year, and not just Pasco County, but every county in Florida basically loses money. And so he was like, look, in case you didn't know, the property taxes is what fills the void from that. That's how we're able to stay afloat and have these services for the people in the community. And he was like, look, and I kind of want to quote this, where he was saying every county in the state subsidizes the Florida Highway Safety Motor Vehicle, the trust fund. You guys get to spend the trust fund. That's money you won't be getting any longer, because there will be a huge shortfall if property taxes are reduced or done away with. Someone's going to have to fill up the void. And he thanked them for their time, and he walked away. So this was his plea to them when they go and vote, that, hey, don't vote for these taxes to be lowered, because you need to remember that we already don't make enough money to do the things that we're doing, and that is what's been holding us over. So he basically needed to remind them of that. And I just found all of that to be really interesting. My question is, though, is all of the money being received going where it needs to go? For him to call it the trust fund, and for him to say, hey, that's the money y'all are able to dibble and dabble in and spend, is that money being spent correctly? Would we have enough for everything if people's hands wasn't in the cookie jar? So I found that to be interesting, but definitely check out the video, like, comment, subscribe, and follow for more.
Thank you, Chairman. Normally a tax collector doesn't get applause, but I appreciate that. Well, good morning, and thank you for allowing me to say a few words this morning. I want to thank you all for the great work you do for Pasco County. Our delegation is second to none. Our first responders, led by Sheriff Knockel, are second to none as well. There's an issue that's going to come up before you this year, and that's property taxes. And just like all of you as being Republicans, I'm a conservative Republican. I'd love to see property taxes be reduced. So would all those who pay me a payment every year would like to see their taxes be reduced. I need to impress something to you, and Representative Maggard had a great gathering of our constitutional officers not long ago, and I appreciate what you did there to hear from the constitutional officers of how it's going to impact their office. 95% of those who we serve that come into our 5 offices, the 50 to 60,000 people a month that come in our offices, we service them with motor vehicle services, driver licenses, title work, things like that. 95% of those people come in our offices for that service. Motor vehicle services in this county and every other county in the state, the tax collector is in the red. We lose money on motor vehicle services. You may come into our office and renew your registration, that's about $80 or $90, I get $3 out of it. You may renew your driver's license at $53.25, I get $6.25. We lose $4 million a year in motor vehicle services at this county. I can tell you, every other county, 66 counties, they lose money as well. People ask me, well, how do you fill that void? By collecting property taxes. You see, we get no money from the state. We get no money from the county, nor do we get any money from the federal government. Our money comes from the services we provide. So if you're going to reduce or take away property taxes, that's great. But someone's going to have to fill that void of my budget of $20 million a year, because I still have to serve those 50 to 60,000 people a month in those 5 offices. They will need to get service. Those 95% of the people that come in our offices are still going to want to renew their registration, replace that driver's license, maybe get a new driver's license, a learner's permit, need to transfer a Florida title. That's 95% of the people that walk in our offices every month. So it's important that you understand that whatever you do with property taxes, it will have a huge impact on the tax collector offices. If you reduce property taxes and do away with them, that's great. But I still have to see and serve those 50 to 60,000 people a month at a cost of just over $20 million. That's just one county. 67 counties take a loss in motor vehicle services. In fact, every county in the state subsidizes the Florida Highway Safety Motor Vehicle, the trust fund you guys get to spend. That's money that you won't be getting any longer, because I'm going to have a huge shortfall if taxes are reduced or property taxes are done away with. And I'm all for it. That's great. Just make sure that you understand that somebody has to fill that void, because those 50 to 60,000 people that we serve each month are not going anywhere else. They're still going to show up in my offices. I still have to have the staff. I still have to pay the bills. Someone's going to have to pick up that void. I thank you very much. God bless you.